So the light's about to go on and go off again. We'll go racing for the sidecars. 6 laps for the Cheers. Great start from the second row for Pete Goodwin and Louise Blythe as they head down into turn 1, but an even better start from the 73 of Barry Smith and Tracy Bryant. Down onto the long front straight under the laser electrical pedestrian bridge they go. And a pretty colourful bunch we've got there. 2 real different classes in the sidecars, the 600s and the 1000cc machines. And as you can expect on a fast circuit like this, it looks like Andy Scrivener that's gone into the front now as they come through turn number 2. Andy and Tina.
Yeah, looks to be Pete the Pirate there in second place on his LCR machine, and then looks to be it's another F1 rig, the 73 of Tracy Bryan and Barry Smith there. That's a smaller F2 machine, an LCR 600 machine, so they're in third position at the moment, and everyone seems to have got away nice and clean. But Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, what a start! These guys went down to the South Island and had some race wins at levels, but this is a brilliant start for them. And Hampton Downs are quite a brutal track for the smaller F2 sidecar, but Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan managed to get it on pole, so a great start to this one.
Well, that is a ding-dong battle for second and third. You'll see it if you're watching from the Pirelli Dipper. It is Scrivener and McEwen in the front. Then we go back to the 73 trying to get around the outside on the 600 machine, as Brad told you, of Pete the Pirate and Louise Blythe. But Louise and Pete have held on to second place, maybe just out horsepowered as they head down into the Pirelli sweeper at the end of the circuit to complete the first of 8 laps here for the Cheers. Once again, of course, points up for decision. This is the New Zealand Championship. This is as good as it gets here in this country. Up the hill they come. You get a good look at them if you're on the front straight here for the Motorfest. There is Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen really starting to pull out a little bit of a distance between Pete the Pirate. Then it is Dennis Charlotte. Then it is Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. And then it would be the 69 of Mark Halls and Darren Prentice. So in behind them would have been Dave MacArthur and Tony New. Ian Staples and Kieran Whittam would be the next one through.
We're going to do...
So Scrivener and McEwen doing a good job at the front of this field as they head down the long straight into turn 2. If anything, it looks to me like maybe Dennis Charlotte's got a little bit closer. We'll have a look as they come just a bit closer to our cameras here. Bear with us, folks. We're doing this from the cameras, the security cameras around the circuit. No, it's still Pete the Pirate and Louise Blythe through in second. Then it is Tracy and Barry, or Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. Barry doing the driving, Tracy doing the swinging. So no real change there. Dennis Charlotte back in 4th place along with Will Clemo. But as we told you, he is the points leader. Just about coming together as they come out of the double B and head down into the higher pool hairpin. This is an intense battle going on between Pete the Pirate Goodwin and Barry Smith by the look of it. They are at it hammer and tong as they head down into the Pirelli Dipper. Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen's got it all on their own for the moment. Tina just sitting up and having a look at the lay of the land as they head down the short chute and down into the Pirelli sweeper once again. But it is on for young and old. Brad for second and third. Pete Goodwin and Louise Blythe and Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see Pete the Pirate back out there. Louise Blythe doing the swinging for him. And yeah, the more that he has to go nice and defensive and cover the inside line from that smaller rig of Barry, the more Andy and Tina are just going to head off in the distance. So brilliant stuff. There it is, Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen. They're going to cross the line in first place. And then we go back to Pete the Pirate in second. Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan, fastest lap of the race with a 1:48.9. They come through in third. And Dennis Charlotte, Will Clemo there in 4th place. Mark Halls and Darren Prentice. We haven't seen them since the Suzuki Series. Good to see them back on their little 600 rig as well. They're in 5th place. Dave MacArthur, Tony New in 6th and 7th. The awesome Staples 1000, the V-Twin Aprilia Staples 1000. Ian Staples and Kieran Whittam doing the swinging for him there. Matt Peters and Doug Corns rather 8th and 9th. Gordy McEwen, Louis Scrivener, and then Darragh Williams and Brian Flynn there in 10th place. So good to see them out there on a little 2000. I think it's a year 2000 rig they're on. So good to see a good 10 pack of sidecars in race 1, and they get a 6-lapper here. So 6 laps to go on this one.
Well, it must have been a little bit of a mistake there for Scrivy and Tina, because Pete Goodwin now right on the back of the number 99 rig. as they come out of the double B, and once again Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan look very fast through that the extension, the international track extension here at Hampton Downs, because they are hammering away at the back of that rig in second place, and that is Pete Goodwin and Louise Blythe, the top rigs in the 148. So the pace is on here as they head down into the Pirelli Dipper and out along the short chute down towards the Pirelli Sweeper at the bottom end of the circuit, the Dale ITM Pirelli Sweeper. Pretty much 2 bites of the cherry, a double apex turn, and then up the hill. And your speed at the top of the hill is determined by your exit speed at the bottom of the hill. And it's on for young and old here, because Pete the Pirate tries to go up the outside of Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen. You'll see them as they come through the kink here. And we've got a new race leader in the sidecars, and it is the defending champions, and that is Peter Goodwin and Louise Blythe on the 111. Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen go back into second place, and it's Smith and Bryan, and then it's Charlotte and Climo. Behind them, Mark Halls and Darren Prentice, and then Dave MacArthur and Tony New. So a change in the positions here in the sidecars.
Yeah, and already look at the advantage. Pete the Pirate, he's into the Foster's Construction right-hander, and out of there as well into the Kev's Carousel. And look at that, already about a 10 to 12 bike length advantage. Tina McEwen and Andy Scrivener now under all sorts of pressure from Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan on the smaller F2 rig. So head into Swampy's Curve they go, and it's all on there. And I don't think that battle for second is quite done yet. Look at that, right up the back of them, and this is where Barry has been the fastest coming into the double bastard.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I just wonder if there's an issue with Andy Scrivener, because he's fallen back into the clutches of Barry. In fact, Barry and Tracy have gone past him, so we've got a change for second and third now as they head down into the higher pool hairpin. It is Pete Goodwin, Louise Blythe out in the front. Then we go back to Smith and Bryan, and then it's Scrivener and McEwen, and then there's a fairly healthy gap back to the man we last saw in fourth place, and it still is Dennis Charlotte and Will Climo. Remember, Dennis is the points leader in the sidecars, but the more experienced combinations starting to come to the fore here. Once again, this battle is on for young and old as they head down into the sweeper. Scrivy's not going to give this up without a fight, maybe just using the extra power of the 1000cc RSR rig on Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. It'll be interesting to see if they're close enough to make an impression up and over the top of the hill this time. First rig you will see, though, will be Pete the Pirate, because he wears a bandana under his helmet all the time, and Louise Blythe. Then we go back to Barry Smith, then we go back to Andy Scrivener, and the next one across the line is Dennis Charlotte and Will Climo.
Yeah, so half race distance, 4 laps gone, 4 to go, as we see them screaming down the awesome back straight at Hampton Downs International Circuit. So Pete the Pirate, he's got the brand new rig this year, and running BMW power unit inside his LCR 1000. So he's got the BMW engine, and that thing's 200 horsepower without even being touched off the showroom floor. So he's quite happy with having that one on board.
So remember, 25 points, the FIM point scale for the National Championship. This is round 3 of 5. Just a quick reminder, folks, that Dave McKenna is doing his thing, the factory Yamaha stunt rider doing his thing on the skid pan as we speak, as we wait for the action here on the track. Leaders heading down into the high pool hairpin once again. The gap's just starting to open up just a little bit now.
Well, we've got a problem. Pete the Pirate's just overshot the high pool hairpin there, so he's just oversteered. Not sure if he had a bike promise, but that's given first place. Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan, they've got a comfortable lead as they head into the Porsche Dipper. So Pete the Pirate back on race pace, so I'm not sure if that was just a minor moment or something happened. It doesn't look like it's affected his race pace too much, but we have a new race leader, and it is the 73, the Carl Cox rig of Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan are leading them out of turn 10 and up the hill.
You've got to wonder how that happened, because it's not often you dive to the inside of a corner when you have a problem. Normally you're going to drift a little bit wide, but like you said, Brad, maybe just a little bit of oversteering there from the Pirate. It's cost him the spot, though. So as you mentioned, new race leader, here they are. This is Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan on the Carl Cox Motorsport 600. There is Pete the Pirate through in second. Scrivy's gone right off the pace, so there's obviously more issues at stake here for the popular man from Taupo. His last lap was in the 155s, the race leader in the 147, so the pace has gone right out of the 99 rig. We'll keep an eye on that through our cameras here as we plot
The inside into Foster's, but can't get it done. Pete the Pirate and Barry Smith. This is a big goal battle. They head into Kev's Carousel, and Pete just ran in deep into Foster's, but Barry just did the undercut and took the position back. So this is a battle for the lead. We're very interested to see the head into Swampy Curves, and Barry Smith still in the lead, but Pete the Pirate definitely got that 1000cc rig wound right up down the back straight. So definitely on for young and old this race at the moment. About 2.5 laps to go, with a 1:47.7 being Barry Smith's fastest lap. That is the fastest lap of the race here at race 1 of the sidecar action, Hampton Downs Moto Fest.
And once again, it looks like Smith is just a little bit faster through the Kev's Carousel and Swampy's Curves, because he's put a little bit of distance now between himself and Pete Goodwin and Louise Blythe. Now Dennis Charlotte about to round up by the look of it. Andy Scrivener as they head into the high pool hairpin. So that puts Dennis on the podium. Andy goes back into 4th place.
Yeah, definitely something not right with that 99 green rig of Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen, so have to go down and see the update there, but definitely not on the same pace they were at the start of this one.
So it should still be Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. Done a fair bit of racing overseas in the last couple of seasons here on the Carl Cox Motorsport 600. There they are, the 73. Pete Goodwin, Louise Blythe through in 2nd place. Police, should I say, Pete from the Windless North. He's a prison officer.
Yeah, definitely keen to look at the drive he gets down out under the laser overbridge, and to see if he can get that big 1000cc machine. He's going to pull up side by side and head under brakes into the right-hander turn 2. Foster's Construction, can you get it stopped? Definitely, yeah. All on there. Barry Smith took the line away and just shut the door.
Shut the door big time then. Barry said, no, you're not coming past. And old Pete has to rethink that move, because look at the distance already that Barry's put on him. So that rattled him. There's no doubt about it. No love lost in the sidecars.
Yeah, brilliant. That's some experienced driving there from Barry, and just come in there and just took the line away. Obviously there's no rear vision mirrors on there, but I'm pretty sure Barry would have known he was there from the lap before. So look at that, brilliant stuff from Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan.
Yeah, they work so well as a combination. They've been together for a long time now, have Barry and Tracy. And man, I think they probably telegraphed that one, but brilliant bit of racing here, brilliant bit of racecraft in the sidecars. The sidecars part of the New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championship here at Hampton Downs at the Motorfest. And once again, that advantage just squeaks out a little bit more as they head down into the high pool hairpin once again.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of lap traffic coming up on the turn 10 sweeper, so hopefully they can negotiate that. Definitely snuck up the inside, so Barry managed to negotiate that pretty nicely, but out of turn 10 the sweeper and up the hill. So I think this might be white flag ready and waiting. We'll have to have a look, and there it is, ready for them to cross the line. Barry Smith, look at Pete, he's going to get right up next to him, so white flag out, 1 to go, and Pete's going to have a dive up the inside into turn 1, and all on here, this sidecar action. This is absolutely brilliant. I think he's got it done. I think he's done it.
He's got the nose in front, and he'll have the power going down. Now who's going to be the last of the late breakers as they head down into the Foster's corner? Is it going to be the 600 rig? Is it going to be a little bit more nimbler, or is it going to be the Pirate and Louise Blythe? They're in the front for the moment, and they've got the advantage, and they've held it.
Yeah, Barry's good through this, but though Barry's really fast through Kev's Carousel and into Swampy Curve, so we'll have a look. Set up a move maybe into the double bastard. Here he is right up on the back of Pete's rig now.
Dives down the inside of him. I think he's made the pass. No, he hasn't. Goodwin's held him out. They come out through the exit of the double B, the double bastard here, that makes up the full complement of the international circuit, and there is going to be not a lot in this one, and they're side by side. You can virtually not distinguish them on our cameras as they come through up on the outside, trying to carry as much speed as possible, and shuts the door again, and Tracy Bryant looks over and sees Pete Goodwin, and he'll have anguish on his face as they head down into the high pool hairpin. Remember, they're going to the checkered flag this time. Oh, Barry Smith just runs a little bit wide. Goodwin gets another chance as they head down into the sweeper. Who's it going to be? And once again, it's the 73 rig, the Carl Cox Motorsport 600, holding out Pete Goodwin and Louise Blythe on the 1000cc machine as they head down into the Pirelli sweeper for the very last time. Is this the last roll of the dice for Pete the Pirate?
Absolutely, he goes deep into brake, and I think he might have just gone to corner early trying to make his move. That's all going to be there under the line. Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan, they get their rig out of turn 10 very good. But look at Pete the Pirate around the outside, so it's definitely going to be a run to the line. He's coming up side by side. There's nothing in it at the moment. It's going to be Pete the Pirate. It's going to go around the outside. And
he's got the horsepower. He's got the win.
Brilliant stuff, Pete the Pirate. He's going to take this race one win, but not by much. The gap in the end, 0.3 of a second as they cross the line. Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan will finish in second place, and then waiting now for the 83 machine of Dennis Charlotte and Will Climo on the now newly painted orange Mega Motorcycle Centre underground brown rig. So we'll have a look at them coming through as well. There's Darryl Williams and Brian Flynn just a lap down, completing their 8-lap race. And there's Dennis Charlotte, so confirm the podium there. Pete the Pirate, Barry Smith, and then Dennis Charlotte, Will Climo. They're going to finish in third place in this one. And then there is the 99 rig of Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, so definitely not running on all cylinders there. So we'll have to try and find out what's happened to Andy. But a good fourth place nonetheless from the man out of Taupo. There's Mark Halls and Darren Prentice finishing in fifth place on their smaller 600 rig. And then waiting for the big thundering Aprilia twin of Ian Staples on the Staples 1000 with Kieran Witten doing the swinging for him.
Well, I just wonder what's going through the mind at the moment of Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan, because they really did well and truly have their pocket picked on that, and it was a sheer horsepower. I mean, I think Pete Goodwin and Louise Blythe got a great drive coming out of the sweeper, but it was just the extra power of the LCR 1000 for Pete Goodwin that got him the win and the maximum 25 points. Good points all for Dennis Charlotte and Will Climo. They will probably keep their lead in the sidecars competition. Sidecars, part of the New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championship. It's round 3 of 5 here at the Mike Perro Motorfest. Whew.